This is now loading for the week of June 24th, 2013. We have a ton of new releases to talk about this week, as well as a big news story, so let's get rolling. Marvel's anti-hero / Merc with a Mouth Deadpool is finally getting his own game this week thanks to the talented crew at High Moon Studios. Now, the short glimpses that we have seen of this game so far in the trailers make it seem something like a Devil May Cry type game, with a heavy emphasis on action and combat, which really suits Deadpool's over-the-top personality and arrogance to a T. I have nothing but faith in High Moon personally, seeing how they've handled the Transformers series in the past, so I have high hopes for this game. Arguably my favorite game from the Nintendo Wii is getting a fresh coat of paint imported to Sony's Portable this week in Muramasa Rebirth. Now, this action RPG was truly a sight to behold on the Wii, utilizing both frantic gameplay and a gorgeous, hand-drawn, Japanese ink-inspired art style. This updated version features enhanced high-definition graphics, new control scheme, and full DLC support, which will make playing through it again a true joy. I have to admit, the one game that I am most excited about this week is Wizards of the Coast's Magic 2014 Duels of the Planeswalkers. I'm a huge fan of this series, and yes, we're talking about Magic the Gathering, the trading card game. Laugh if you must, but the development team behind this game has been making great strides in the past couple of years to replicate the look and feel of the real trading card game to the digital format. And this year might just be their closest yet. Thanks to the introduction of true deck building in the form of sealed deck play, this could be the best one we've seen and give Magic fans a way to get together online with their friends. From the ashes of THQ's demise comes Company of Heroes 2, a real-time strategy game that focuses on the Eastern Front of World War II. This sequel to the 2006 hit features a variety of new enhancements, including an all-new game engine that has a heavy focus on weather conditions and their effects on battle. The development team at Relic was able to finish the production of the game thanks to Sega buying the development house out during THQ's bankruptcy proceedings. A new stealthy action RPG from the minds at Realmforge Studios will hit PCs this week in Dark. This game chronicles the tale of Eric Bane, a newly turned vampire who is suffering from amnesia. His descent into darkness will lead him on a path that brings great power, but also forces some personal sacrifices along the way. The smash hit mobile game Doodle Jump is leaping onto the Xbox Live Arcade this week with a Kinect enhanced version of the game. Now, Doodle Jump was one of the early blockbuster hits on the mobile platform, and it amassed more than 15 million downloads across its various platforms. It's coming to the home consoles with a number of enhancements, but the most notable is full Kinect support that has players controlling the game's character by simply moving around their living room and waving their arms. This is sure to be a hit with kids, and likely adults too. The ultra-violent Hotline Miami is jumping from PCs to the PlayStation 3 and Vita this week. This game received a ton of critical acclaim upon its release last October, citing its unique visual style, great story, and amazing soundtrack. Now, this is hitting both of Sony's consoles with the cross-buy support, which means that buying it once for $9.99 gets you both versions of the game. Arguably one of Kickstarter's biggest successes, the OUYA game console is finally being released to the public. Now, this is a full Android-based home gaming console meant for your living room. You won't have to shell out a couple of $100 for it either, as it carries a price tag of $99.99. That gets you the system, controller, and everything you need to get online and get up and running on your TV. Currently, most of the titles gracing the platform's online store are from independent developers, although there are a few big names like Square Enix joining the group, but that could change if it really takes off commercially. A new 3DS RPG brings together characters from a variety of universes in Project X Zone. The game, which was developed by Banpresto and Monolith Software, brings together characters from Namco, Sega, and Capcom for an over-the-top adventure filled with familiar faces from all generations of gaming. We're talking Street Fighter, Tekken, Resident Evil, Shining Force, Dot Hack, Xenosaga, Virtua Fighter, and many others lending their personalities to this adventure. Announced many years ago, officially canceled in 2009, and once again announced earlier this year, Ride to Hell Retribution from Deep Silver is finally going to see the light of day. Now, this is an action-adventure game set in the late 60s in the biker gang movement. As a veteran returning from Vietnam, your character will follow a road that is far from being for the faint of heart, as he tries to adapt back to being a part of society. This is a dark and gruesome tale definitely meant for more mature audiences. Less than a full week after the end of E3, Microsoft responded to all the public criticism they had been receiving regarding some of the policies for the new console, the Xbox One. Gamers were, let's say, more than upset at some of the official requirements of the new system, including you having to check in online once every 24 hours and the inability to rent, borrow, and buy used games in the same manner that we do now. Well, that has all changed. An open letter was posted on Xbox.com last week which stated that the company was changing their position on these topics, citing it being a response to fan feedback. The only time that the console needs to connect to the internet now is during its initial setup when you first get it. In game discs, they'll work just like they do today. You put it in and you're good to go. No additional fees, no transfers of licenses. These are certainly steps in the right direction as we approach the system's launch this coming November, but Microsoft still has a long way to go to catch up with the PS4 in terms of public perception, after what was undoubtedly one of the most heavily criticized and detrimental E3 showings that we have seen in quite some time. Remember, for more information on all these games, stories, and more, check out GamingNexus.com.